Welcome to this week's Explainer. We're moving fast today, jumping straight from the week's absolute biggest headlines right into a tactical war room for DTC and Shopify operators. We've got a massive week to cover, spanning from July 19th to July 25th, 2026, and I'm super thrilled you're here. We're going to break down some complex platform shifts and figure out exactly how to uncover all that hidden revenue sitting in your workflows right now. So let's dive right in.
All right, here is our game plan for today. We'll start with a quick roundup of the top headlines, then pivot heavily into an e-commerce, email, and retention masterclass. From there, we'll cover building resilient e-commerce AI agents, unpack the new rules of discovery, and wrap things up with a masterclass on scaling small-budget Google Ads. Section 1. The week's top headlines. We are kicking things off in news desk mode to quickly catch you up on the massive platform shifts from this past week. Starting with AI and tech, the arms race is literally spilling into the courtroom and into hardware. Apple is actually suing OpenAI in federal court over trade secret theft. They're naming hardware chief Tang Tan and alleging that over 400 former Apple employees were coached to dodge exit security just to build OpenAI's new hardware division. Insane, right? Meanwhile, CoreWeave launched Aria. That's a $1.4 billion bet that actually closes the AI research loop by continuously turning experiment data into new hypotheses. In the model wars, Anthropic had to extend access to Claude Fable 5 because OpenAI's new GPT 5.6 Soul is pulling users away fast. Looking globally, China's ZAI is testing the absolute limits of frontier AI using domestic chips at gigawatt scale alongside Moonshot's Kimi K. And finally, Google dropped Gemma 4. It's an open model that processes raw images and audio entirely locally, meaning incredibly capable multimodal AI now runs right on the hardware you own. Moving over to e-commerce news. For you Amazon sellers out there, listen up. Amazon is now mandating a 90% business hour delivery rate for B2B seller-fulfilled orders. This is a massive forcing function pushing third-party sellers toward FBA, because let's be real, you can't easily control when a carrier actually drops a package off. We also found out Amazon is developing Moonraker. It's a secret $100 million plus Alexa AI agent for multi-step tasks, powered by Anthropic's models. On the advertising side, Google Ads now strictly requires advertisers to disclose AI-generated content during the creative review process. And Google Workspace just unveiled Gemini Omni, which lets you generate video clips and personal avatars from plain text. The tools are getting so incredibly powerful, but the rules, they're getting a lot stricter. Let's shift gears to Section 2, E-commerce Email and Retention Masterclass. It's time to step into the war room because there is so much unspent money sitting in your current workflows. You know, there's this massive myth about email formatting that we need to bust right now. The crucial point here is understanding exactly when to use plain text versus beautifully designed emails. You want to use designed emails when the product itself does the selling. Think launches, new collections, or lookbooks, where seeing the item is what actually sells it. But you absolutely need to use plain text emails when a person does the selling. Things like founder notes, win-back campaigns, and relationship building. The myth is that plain text boosts deliverability purely because of the code. The reality? It boosts deliverability because it reads like a genuine message from a real human being. That earns you way more replies and far fewer instant archives from your customers. 40 times. That's not a typo. A welcome email brings in 40 times more revenue than a standard campaign. Let that sink in for a second. In recent data, a welcome automation averages over $6 per email sent, while a standard blast pulls in maybe 15 cents. Why? Because it lands exactly when the customer is most primed and ready to buy. They just signed up. They're waiting for your message. If your welcome series is only one email deep, you are leaving money on the table. You need to add a second one a day later to capture all that massive intent. Think about your shipping confirmations for a second. They have a massive 62% open rate, yet most brands completely waste this premium real estate on a boring trucking link. ButcherBox, on the other hand, uses this perfectly to sell the next order and build a real relationship. They highlight loyalty reward points instantly, which plants the seed for order number 2. They frame delivery day as an actual event to build anticipation. They provide immediate service with prep and defrost guides, which cuts down on support tickets. They share their sustainability metrics right when the customer's attention is at its absolute peak. And crucially, they ask for a phone number for instant delivery updates, effortlessly capturing an SMS lead straight from inside an email. It's just a total masterclass. Okay, rapid fire round here. If you are running a DTC brand, honestly, just take a screenshot right now. Executing on even half of these granular tactics will plug the revenue leaks bleeding your accounts dry. First, always show a skip button before the cancel button to save subscriptions. Send test campaigns to a 3-inbox seed list, Gmail, Outlook, and iCloud, before every send to see how it actually renders. Resend your best campaigns to non-openers after 48 hours with a fresh subject line. Accept a 0.20% campaign unsubscribe rate. It just means you're cleaning your list of people who wouldn't buy anyway. Never, ever repeat the subject line in your preview text. Use that second line as the second half of your pitch. Rewrite buttons in the customer's voice, like "show me my cart," instead of barking commands like "click here." Segment by purchase behavior and life cycle stage, not just basic demographics. Make sure you audit your oldest flows like welcome and abandoned cart quarterly, because they're probably running on the oldest copy you've ever written. Send highly segmented birthday emails. Literally nobody unsubscribes from those. And finally, remove pre-purchase upsells, rely on sequential post-purchase flows instead to protect your core conversion rate.
All right, Section 3, Building Resilient E-commerce AI Agents. Let's see how AI operations are shifting from writing clever prompts to establishing rock-solid data environments. If your agents are failing or hallucinating, I promise you, it's a data problem, not a prompt problem. If your agents don't have a curated, date-stamped, single source of truth for your business, they aren't amplifying your intelligence. They're just silently compounding your bad data. Here are the 4 steps to fix that. First, define your canonical vocabulary. To you, revenue and net sales might mean the same thing, but an AI will absolutely treat them as different metrics unless you tell it otherwise. Second, solve identity mapping across all your systems. Your Shopify SKU has to perfectly map to your Amazon ASN. Third, give every single fact a specific origin and expiration date. An agent shouldn't be using 90-day-old competitor pricing as if it were pulled this morning. And fourth, separate proposed AI output from your accepted ground truth. AI agents should never be allowed to approve their own work into your shared database.
And here are some operations best practices to guide you. First up is what we call the Grant-Sanderson trick. When you're learning or setting up a workflow, command the LLM to test your knowledge in stages rather than just spitting out the answers. Treat it like a demanding study partner. Second is curation over accumulation. Your agents need the current picture of your business, not your entire historical archive. Please don't just dump a messy 2-year-old spreadsheet into your context window and hope for the best. Third is the command center shift. We are moving into a reality where you no longer operate your brand directly. You direct the AI that operates your brand. You are essentially building the command center.
Moving to Section 4, the new rules of discovery. Let's talk about traffic, because the traditional funnel is completely collapsing right before our eyes. Every single operator I talk to is asking the exact same question right now. Where on earth did all my SEO traffic go? Founders are seeing their reliable, predictable SEO leads just get sliced in half overnight. The incredibly uncomfortable answer is that discovery, that critical moment a customer forms a short list of products, is scattering across answer engines and social layers. The old playbook is broken, guys.
58%, because AI overviews now appear on nearly 55% of all commercial searches. Ranking number 1 organically on Google now delivers 58% fewer clicks than it used to. That is a staggering jump. People are just getting their answers directly from the AI overview without ever bothering to click through to your carefully crafted blog post.
So how do we survive this? We recycle. You must treat your past 20 years of SEO blog investment as the raw material to fuel your next 3 years of social content. Pierre Harabal calls this the repurposing factory, and it relies on 5 exact workflows. 1. Turn your case studies into swipeable carousels. 2. Turn your industry reports into data-driven infographics. 3. Turn your top-of-funnel articles into YouTube videos. Just use the article outline as your script. 4. Turn statistics into thought leadership posts by adding your unique interpretation. And 5. Turn sales call Q&As into punchy 60-second short videos. Your dying SEO traffic is actually sitting on an absolute gold mine of social content.
This brings us to the Google effect. It's fascinating. People don't actually remember information anymore. They remember where to find it. You can no longer afford to just be a random search result that someone might hopefully stumble upon again. You have to become the definitive source. You have to become the folder they file you under in their mind. Much like a newsletter delivers news directly to an inbox so you never have to search for it, your brand needs to be the destination itself, not just a stepping stone.
Social media is the new search substrate. Period. Real-time updates breaking on social platforms have effectively replaced the traditional news cycle. That means you have to monitor forums, reviews, and untagged mentions, not just the comments on your own official profiles. Your brand's narrative is kicking off simultaneously across Reddit, TikTok, and LinkedIn. You can use AI agents, like Sprout's Trellis, to automatically synthesize these narrative shifts and flag sentiment drops. And as we've seen with these massive creator-led back-to-school campaigns lately, product discovery happens natively in the feed now. Community management and social listening aren't just PR anymore. They are literally the most vital components of performance marketing.
Finally, Section 5, Scaling Small-Budget Google Ads. Time to jump right into the media buying trenches and figure out how to survive without getting crushed by massive competitors. If you've got a budget under $50 a day on Shopify, you absolutely cannot play the same game as the whales. Joshua Ubergang lays out 6 rules for small budgets that you have to follow. 1. Consolidate to just 2 campaigns, search and shopping. Spreading a tiny budget across Performance Max and display is a total death sentence. It just creates noise without enough data for the algorithm to learn. 2. Focus on a single, high-performing location. Stop trying to target the whole country if you can only afford clicks in one state. 3. Use exact match keywords to strictly control search intent. Precision is everything here. 4. Limit shopping campaigns to your absolute best sellers. Please don't put 5,000 products into one tiny campaign. 5. Pre-qualify your clicks using strict exclusionary headlines. You actually want to intentionally lower your click-through rate to weed out bad traffic and save your budget for real buyers. And 6. Optimize aggressively and cut losers early to fund your winners. Don't keep funding a keyword that isn't converting, just hoping it miraculously turns around.
I love this quote so much. A small budget isn't a disadvantage, it's a forcing function for focus. Extreme budget constraints actually force you to figure out the exact keywords, the exact locations, and the exact best sellers that drive true profit for your business. It strips away all the vanity metrics and forces you to be incredibly disciplined.
So I want to leave you with a question to chew on this week. As the platforms rapidly evolve into agents and discovery fully shifts over to social, what part of your operation are you still trying to force through yesterday's playbook? Take a really hard look at your data foundations, your email automations, and your ad structures. Ask yourself if you are building for the reality of this week or just relying on the comfort of last year. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll see you all next time.